Hello, my dear students. In this video, I am going to discuss the topic of MA MSc Mathematics, and the subject is functional analysis, and the topic is finite dimensional spectral theory. So, to start with this finite dimensional spectral theory, there are certain definitions. In which first definition is of an eigenvector, and you are aware with this word. You heard a lot of time this word eigenvector and other names. You look at the screen: proper vector, latent vector, or the characteristic vector. So we are talking about the Hilbert space, in which we are taking an operator T. So we are saying that a vector x belong to this Hilbert space S is said to be an eigenvector for this operator T if the following two conditions are satisfied. Number one is x is non-zero and Tx equal to alpha x for some scalar alpha. And you know very well that that this x must be non-zero, that is called as the eigenvector, and second condition must also satisfy. And this alpha, the scalar alpha, this is what known as the eigenvalue, or again you say it as the proper value, or the latent root, or the characteristic root. So it is the second definition, that if there exists a scalar alpha such that Tx equal to alpha x for some non-zero vector x, then alpha is said to be eigenvalue. So if you look at the condition number 2, and if we take this alpha x to the left side, so what we are getting? T minus alpha x is equal to 0. That's why we can also say that alpha is an eigenvalue of T if and only if the null space of T minus alpha is not equal to 0. So one more remark is there, that if the Hilbert space H has no non-zero vector at all, then T certainly has no eigenvectors. So we assume throughout that H is not equal to 0. So dear students, remember that when we are talking about the eigenvector, that vector must be non-zero, otherwise we cannot find the eigenvectors. This remarks what says in case of the Hilbert space. So in the continuation, we are having the theorem, and if you look at the screen, the statement is: if T is a normal operator, x is a vector, and alpha is a scalar, then we have to show that Tx equal to alpha x if and only if T star x equal to alpha bar x. In another way, what we can say that this x is a non-zero, proper vector of T if and only if it is a proper vector of T star, and alpha is a proper value of T if and only if alpha bar is a proper value of T star. So these are the two parts particularly. So if we look at the proof, we are applying the definition of normal operator, because T is a normal operator. So what we get? T star equal to T star T, where T star is the adjoint operator. So definition of adjoint operator is Tx equal to x T star x. So we are taking the adjoint of T minus alpha I star. So what we are getting? T star minus alpha star I star. But because alpha is a scalar, so alpha star is alpha bar, and I is an identity operator, so it is self-adjoint. So what we are getting? I star equal to I. So from here what we are getting? T minus alpha I star is equal to T star minus alpha bar I. So now we are calculating T minus alpha I star into T minus alpha I, and in the first phase we calculate this T minus alpha I star equal to T star minus alpha bar I. So in the right side you look T star minus alpha bar I into T minus alpha I. So we multiply these. So what we get? T star T minus alpha T star I, and T star I you know very well, it is T star minus alpha bar T plus alpha bar I. Similarly, we take T minus alpha I to the left side, T minus alpha I star to the right side, and again we compute this product. So we are getting this T star T minus alpha bar T minus alpha T star plus alpha bar I. And you can look at these two right side expressions. From here what we are getting? T minus alpha I star into T minus alpha equal to T minus alpha into T minus alpha I star. And you can look, it is following the definition of normal operator. That's why we can say that this T minus alpha is normal. And because you know very well that norm of Tx equal to norm of T star x, that's why you can say that norm of T minus alpha x equal to norm of T minus alpha I star x. So if we compute this norm, from here what we get? Tx equal to x alpha x if and only if T star x equal to alpha bar x. And from here what we get that x is a proper vector of T if and only if x is a proper vector of T star, and alpha is a proper value of T if and only if alpha bar is a proper value of T star. So dear students, we can use this in the next, if you look at this spectral theorem for finite dimensional spaces, which is our basic main motive in this video lecture. So one more definition we have to use, the spectrum. Basically the set of all eigenvalues of an operator T is called its spectrum, or you say point spectrum, and it is denoted by this T. So statement of this spectral theorem is what? Let lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n be the eigenvalues of an operator T, and let m1, m2, mn be their corresponding eigenspaces. If P1, P2, Pn are the projections on these eigenspaces, then following three statements are equivalent to one another. So these three equivalent statements are what? First one is MIs are pairwise orthogonal and span H, or you say generate H. And second is PIs are pairwise orthogonal, that is Pi Pj equal to 0 for I not equal to j. And one more condition which we have to check, I equal to P1 plus P2 plus Pn, and also T is equal to lambda 1 P1 plus lambda 2 P2 plus up to so on lambda n Pn. And third one is T is normal, that is you know very well that we have to prove that T star equal to T star T. So what we have to do, we have to prove these three conditions are equivalent. So what we do, 1 imply 2, 2 imply 3 and 3 imply 1. So first of all in the proof, what we are going to prove, 1 imply 2. And one important thing I you know very well, that when we have to prove 1 imply 2, that means to say 1 is given and 2 we have to prove. That means to say what we are given, that MIs are pairwise orthogonal and they span H, and then we have to show PIs are pairwise orthogonal, I equal to PI1 plus P2 plus Pn, and T equal to lambda 1 plus lambda 1 P1 plus lambda 2 P2 plus up to so on lambda n Pn. That's why we are taking, it is given that Mi spans H because 1 is satisfied. So due to the span of that vector of x in H can be uniquely expressed in the form x equal to x1 plus x2 plus xn, which we take as 1. So we were writing x equal to x1 plus x2 plus xn. So here these xi belongs to Mi for each I, and xi are pairwise orthogonal. Also in 1 we have given MIs are pairwise orthogonal. That's why we can write Mi is orthogonal to Mj. This symbol of perpendicular is for orthogonal, I not equal to j. So Mi is the subset of Mj. And because Pi's are the projections on MIs, so we are applying the definition of projections, that Pjx is equal to Mj for every x, and that's why this Pi Pjx equal to 0 for any x, and that's why we can say that this Pi Pj equal to 0 for I not equal to j, because x is arbitrary. So this projections, these operators must be 0. That's why we can say that Pi's are pairwise orthogonal, which was the condition number 1 of our proof 2. Now because in the equation 1 we have taken x equal to x1 plus x2 plus xn, so we are applying Pi to both sides of 1, Pi to both sides of 1. If you look at the again equation number 1, this was our equation number 1, x equal to x1 plus x2 plus xn. So we are applying here Pi. So what we are getting, Pi x equal to Pi x1 plus Pi x2 plus Pi xi plus up to so on Pi xn. Because Pi's are the projections, so all values will become 0 except this ith term. That's why we get Pi xi equal to xi for any I. So when we combine 1 and 2, means to say here we are getting x1 equal to P1x, x2 equal to P2x, and xn equal to Pnx. So we are putting in the right side of 1, we get x equal to P1x plus P2x plus up to so on Pnx. And we know very well that identity operator gives you Ix equal to x. So left side you write it as Ix equal to P1 plus P2 plus up to so on Pnx. That's why if we compare these two sides, what we get, I equal to P1 plus P2 plus Pn. This was the second thing which we have to prove in the second part. Again we apply t on the both sides of 1 and we get here tx equal to tx1 plus tx2 plus txn, and here we apply the definition of eigenvalues. According to that we get tx1 equal to lambda 1 x1, tx2 equal to lambda 2 x2 and txn is equal to lambda n xn. But x1 is p1x from 2, you know very well, x2 equal to p2x and xn equal to pnx. So what we get? Lambda 1 p1x plus lambda 2 p2x plus up to so on lambda n pnx. So here it we can write lambda 1 p1 plus lambda 2 p2 plus up to so on lambda n pnx, and again if we compare we get t equal to lambda 1 p1 plus lambda 2 p2 plus lambda n pn. Or rather you say, if you take it to the left side, again we get t minus this lambda 1 p1 lambda n pn x equal to 0, but x is arbitrary, so this operator must be 0, and again we get this t equal to lambda 1 p1 plus lambda 2 p2 plus up to so on lambda n pn. So we give this as 3, and this representation if it exists, means if it is finite and definite, then this 3 is called as the spectral representation or spectral form of t. That's why, because we are reading or we are studying the spectral theorem for finite dimensional spaces, so this representation is known as the spectral form of t. So this was the proof of 1 imply 2, and now we come to 2 imply 3. In 2 there are 3 conditions, and in 3 if I show you on this screen what we have to prove in this 3, that t is normal, that is t star equal to t star t. So again we start from this 2, that t equal to lambda 1 p1 plus lambda 2 p2 plus up to so lambda n pn. So if we take the adjoint t star, what we get? T star equal to lambda 1 bar p1 star plus lambda 2 bar p2 star plus up to so on lambda n bar pn star. But because these projections are self-adjoint, that's why we write it as p1 star equal to p1, p2 star equal to p2 and pn star equal to pn. So we get t star equal to lambda 1 bar p1 plus lambda 2 bar p2 plus lambda n bar pn. So now we compute tt star and t star t, because we have to show t is normal. So if we compute tt star, it is lambda 1 p1 plus lambda 2 p2 plus lambda n pn, and lambda 1 bar p1 plus lambda 2 bar p2 plus up to so on lambda n bar pn. So we multiply these, what we get? Mod lambda 1 p1 square mod lambda 2 p2 square plus mod lambda n pn square. Other products will become 0 because pi pj are orthogonal. That's why if I is not equal to j, then pi pj equal to 0, means to say just like p1 p2 p1 p3 and p1 pn, all these are 0. That's why we get it as mod lambda 1 square p1 mod lambda square p2 plus up to so on mod lambda n square pn, because again pi's are projections, so they are idempotent, so we write pi square equal to pi. So similarly if you compute t star t, then again we get the same result, and that's why we get t star equal to tt star, and that's why we can say that t is normal. So dear students, it was the proof of second imply 3. Now we have to prove 3 imply 1, means to say in 3 what we have given, t is normal, and we have to show that mi's are pairwise orthogonal and span s. So these 2 conditions we have to prove, that mi's are pairwise orthogonal. That's why we write here, we shall prove that mi is orthogonal to mj for I not equal to j. That's why we claim that if we have to prove that these 2 are orthogonal, so we show that in the product of elements of mi and mj are 0. That's why we have written here, for this we claim that xi xj is equal to 0 for I not equal to j, where xi belongs to mi and xj belongs to mj. So dear students, again look at this, because xi belongs to mi, xj belongs to mj. So what we can write? txi equal to lambda xi, txj equal to lambda j xj. So if we take the adjoint, so what we get? T star xj equal to lambda j bar xj. So now txj xj is by definition of adjoint operator, it is txi xj is xi t star xj, and t star xj is lambda j bar xj. So in the left side we put the value of txi as lambda I xi, xj is as it is, and the right side is xi lambda j bar xj. So lambda I is scalar. So when we take outside, it is lambda I xi xj equal to lambda j, because lambda j conjugate. When we take it outside, again it becomes the conjugate, and conjugate of conjugate is the scalar itself. That's why it is lambda j xi xj. So it is lambda I minus lambda j xi xj equal to 0. And because lambda i's are distinct, that's why this xi is equal to 0, and that's why we can say that mi is orthogonal to mj. And the last part which we have to show, that mi is spans h, that is h is the linear combination of this m1 plus m2 plus mn. So dear students, because mi's are orthogonal for I not equal to j, so we can say that pi not equal to pj for I not equal to j. That's why we can say that this m is equal to m1 plus m2 plus mn is a closed linear subspace of H. Oh, and its associated projection, what we get? For m1 we get p1, for m2 we get p2, for mn we get as pn. That's why we get its associated projection as p equal to p1 plus p2 plus pn. And we have read in the previous lectures that if t is normal, then this mi reduces t, and so by definition this m is invariant under t. These are the results in the functional analysis when we read about the operators, normal operator, unitary operator. That's why we say that if m is not equal to 0, then since all the vectors of t are contained in m, the restriction of t to m is an operator, and this operator is, you know very well, that normal. So we say on a non-trivial finite dimensional Hilbert space which has eigenvectors and has no eigenvalues. If this has no eigenvector, then it has no eigenvalues. But this is a contradiction to the fact that there exists an orthonormal basis for H, because if you are talking about the orthonormal basis, then there must be eigenvectors for H consisting of eigenvectors of normal operator T. That's why this m must be equal to 0, and that's why we can say that m is equal to H. And hence, because we were taking m as the proper, that's why m is not proper, it is improper. We get the contradiction, that's why we get m equal to H, and hence H equal to m1 plus m2 plus up to so on mn, which shows that mi spans H. So dear students, it was the proof of finite spectral theorem for finite dimensional spaces. Again, if you have any doubt, then you can write in the comment box of my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thanks a lot.